Welcome to Orlando Matters. I'm Ryan Elijah. Great to have you with us this morning. We're going to take you inside the many news stories that impact us here in Central Florida. What a big week it was for Florida football fans. A football legend, Steve Spurrier, introduced as the new head coach of Orlando's new pro football team. You'll hear from the head ball coach, and I'll sit down with the league official about why Orlando was such a natural fit. Plus, we're starting to see growth already in the UCF campus in downtown Orlando. A conversation with the man in charge of this major project ahead. Plus, some big news from the busiest airport in Florida. CYOIA is going high-tech, and it will help with those wait times. Plus, are you brave enough for Orlando's tall new attraction? See why the Star Flyer is shooting for the record books. I just wouldn't be the first one to ride that. But speaking of going first, the top 4 Democrats running for governor facing off in their very first debate before the August primary. They all took questions at our sister station in Tampa this week, and one of the big issues that came up was the issue of medical marijuana.
On the recreational side as well, we've got to end this prison industrial complex that is being built, again, all around a plant at a seed that, quite frankly, provides much more redemptive use than it does harmful.
I believe we have got to get the medical marijuana firmly implemented and having everyone take advantage of it, and then we can talk about further steps.
I believe I'm the only one up here that's actually decriminalized marijuana. So that was the first step for us in Miami Beach, because as Mayor Gillum rightfully pointed out, we do not want to ruin people's lives, their careers, their opportunities to join the armed services or go to university. So we did it in Miami Beach.
This is just another example of how conventional politics and our one-party state government in Tallahassee has failed us and not listened to the voters. You say you want medical marijuana, we don't give it to you.
Now, last week on the program, we showed you how the Republican candidates have raised more money in March. Adam Putnam, Ron DeSantis, they are battling for the front-runner position right now, but Florida House Speaker Richard Corcoran could enter the race. The Republicans, by the way, have yet to hold their first debate. Along with picking Florida's next governor in November, voters will have 13 amendments to decide on, and includes in a proposed measure that would expand the rights of crime victims. Other amendments making the ballot, we're talking about offshore drilling and banning vaping in public places. Those two, by the way, are actually tied together in a move that has angered some voters. Well, from politics to a man that is as well known and better known than most politicians, we're talking about Steve Spurrier. He will continue his coaching career in Orlando as the new coach of Orlando's newest pro team. Now, Orlando, of course, the first team in the Alliance of American Football, and Spurrier is a huge name to kick things off. He was officially introduced this week and said he is thrilled with the chance to coach in Orlando, and he wants to win.
And our goal, my goal as a coach, we'll get an excellent coaching staff in here, is to give you a team you're proud of, just like the UCF Knights this past year. The Knights, undefeated. If they want to call themselves national champions, I'm for that. They deserve it.
And they'll play at UCF. Spurrier, one of a number of big names aligned with the new alliance. One of the league's executives was once part of the Orlando Rage in the XFL. And Tom Veen is here to talk more about this association that has a lot of people excited. You were with the Alliance of American Football. Tom, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
This has been something that football fans that just kind of came out, I wouldn't say out of nowhere, but for some fans they were surprised. But you've been working on this for over a year.
Yeah, probably longer than that in a lot of ways. But over the last year, we've looked at spring football. One of the things that's amazing, there's 150 million people that watch football on a weekly basis, college and pro, during the season. 75 million of them don't watch another sport consistently when football goes away.
And Orlando was making this splash here. I mean,
yeah.
We hear about the XFL, and people were focused on that. And we've known about the Alliance, and also Bill Polian, who is such a respected name in football. But then you bring out Orlando, which is a top 20 market without football, and Steve Spurrier. That's a big splash right off the bat.
Well, and Orlando's a great market. I was here 20 years ago when we had spring football. And the one thing that we learned is that Orlando's a football town. Yeah. And now you look with UCF, you look at the fact you have 2 major college bowl games, you have the Pro Bowl. You just don't have a pro team to call our own. And so we filled that void, and what we call the saddest Sunday in America is the Sunday after the Super Bowl, and it won't be sad anymore.
We'll talk about the decision to go right then. And there's all sorts of thoughts. So let's go in the summer where there's not football. Yeah. You guys want to go right when football fans are in the heart of football season.
Well, in the world today, analytics are everything, and we spent a lot of time learning what our fan base wanted. And what we learned is football's at its highest in Super Bowl. Actually, if you go away for a few weeks, people kind of get into other routines, and they miss football, but we're going to come out the week after the Super Bowl when people are still watching it. And again, saddest Sunday in America. And for 10 weeks, we'll carry through. And really by the time we're out, then OTAs are beginning, the NFL draft's beginning, football continues. So it's for that football junkie, you've got your fix because we're going to carry you through.
There is obviously a huge goal and a financial gain in football, but there's a big risk as well. And you guys know that going in. The contract already with TV makes a big difference. Talk about some of the things you looked at from a business model to put this in place.
Well, the thing we talk about is patient money. There's been a lot of leagues. Edison tried to invent the light bulb 100 times. So people ask us, why do you do it again? Because the market is there. So what we've seen is that you've got to be in for a long time. You can't start any business and think that you're going to do it in a year or 2 years, and especially football, that's very expensive. So we have a 10-year plan. Our investors are in for it the long haul. The NFL didn't become profitable in year one. It took them 30, 40, 50 years. The NBA in the last few years, you got to have a long lens on what it is. What we know is that the market is there, and beyond that, too, the product is there. 2% of all athletes that play college football ever play in the NFL. That's a very small microcosm.
Think of that kind of talent as well. Walk me through a little bit. We know 8 teams. We know Orlando is one. Starts in February. You decided you're going to play at UCF, which is a very intimate place to play. Camp, those type of things. What happens?
So we're looking at players right now. This weekend, there's a meeting going on with our football executives. We'll roll out the rest of the next 7 cities over the next few weeks. Steve Spurrier is an incredible coach, and wait till you see some of the other guys that we've got coming in.
Yeah. And Steve's excited about this.
Oh, Steve is fired up. The first words he said when I talked to him about it was, when's the championship game? He's here to win a championship. Steve's competitive, and our coaches don't lose that. They lose the fact that they have to deal with so many other things other than coaching football. And in our league, they get to come in. It's a 5-month process. We'll go to camp. We'll have OTAs. Our draft will be after the NFL does their cuts. We'll go through. We'll go to OTAs over the fall, and then we'll go to training camp in January, and we'll start playing in February. We play through the middle of April, then a playoff and a championship game. And then these coaches, Steve's staying involved with the University of Florida. Some of our other coaches you'll see doing analyst roles on television. They get to keep those jobs. So it really allows them to stay competitive, but it doesn't consume their life.
Tom, how was the process with Steve? I mean, was it something where, are we going to approach him with this? I mean, how long did this take to get together?
This is one of those what-if questions. Yeah. We're sitting in a room going, what if we called Steve Spurrier? And we have a very strong network with our coaches and our involvement, and J.K. McKay, who oversees our football, actually played with Steve on the first Buccaneer team. So called Steve, and it was, let's go. When we talked about putting together Steve in this league took about 45 minutes. He wanted to make sure that the football was real, and when you have Bill Polian, he knew the football was going to be real, and he had certain things, but he knew the people involved, and that's what's great about the people we put together is instant credibility when you have a Bill Polian, a Troy Polamalu, a Hines Ward, Justin Tuck, Jared Allen. The football minds are in this, and then you look at Charlie Ebersol and his background, and Dick Ebersol's on our board, and our investment group is the Founders Fund, one of them who put in the first money in Facebook, the first money in SpaceX, the first money in Lyft. We have a lot of big names, but a lot of smart names.
You worked in the XFL. What are some lessons you learned there that you guys bring to this league?
Well, one, we don't need to be in competition with any other football league. There's 3 stars in our logo. We're the alliance for a reason. We're not a league. We're the alliance because we align 3 things: the players, the fans, and the game itself, and bringing all this together. And so we're going to be collaborative with the NCAA, with the NFL, with whoever else out there, USA Football, whoever. We want to make the game safer because, look, we all want to see the game of football survive. It's the most popular game in America. If you just look at every other sport combined, if you take every other sport and you take their national TV ratings and add them all up, you multiply that by 6 to get an NFL rating or a collegiate. I mean, so the market's there. So we're very true to our core constituency, again, is fans, players, and the game.
I want to talk about the city's reaction to this. Mayor Dyer was at the announcement this week, and Orlando really, in my mind, has the potential to be almost the capital of this league, or certainly a very big part of this league?
Without a doubt. Orlando has a strong football history. They've supported football well. And again, I was here 20 years ago, and now you look at where it is. At the time when I took the job, I said Orlando deserves football. Well, they've got football. They've got an exciting Division I college program that went undefeated that they supported very well. You have 2 major bowl games. You have the Pro Bowl. Just don't have that home team, pro team to support. So Orlando, and it, is such a growing market and so dynamic. The largest market in Florida without football, one of the largest markets in the country without football, in a football hotbed. And the exciting part is, too, from the player standpoint, is you're going to get to see people guys obviously we have Coach Spurrier, but we're going to have Seminoles, and we're going to have Hurricanes, and we're going to have Gators and Bulls and Knights, and we're going to do a regional draft. So it is, and you never know. You might have a great Gator quarterback throw into a great Seminole wide receiver, handing off to a great running back from UCF, and blocking by someone from the Hurricanes. It's when you stand in that stadium, these are going to be players that you know.
Just about a minute left. I know Coach Spurrier invited Tim Tebow to play. Obviously, you can't think of a bigger name. So much of that will come down to baseball, but excited about even that possibility.
Yeah, and there's a lot of those guys. You look at how many Heisman Trophy winners don't play in the NFL. There's an opportunity there, so we'd love to have Tim. He's playing baseball. He's got to do what's best for him, but when you got Coach Spurrier as your recruiter,
that helps.
It helps a little bit.
What do you want fans to know, Tom, as you look forward? I know tickets are available already.
Yeah, you can get your seat deposits. You can go on AAF.com, or you can call our 1-800, which is 1-833-AAF 2019. But seat's going to be reasonable. One of the things we've committed to is a $35 sideline seat. We're going to have cheaper tickets. We'll have more expensive tickets. But we want that family that wants to take their kids, a mom and a dad, and they want to take their kids, and not just sit in a nosebleed seat, but be able to sit on the between the 50 and the 20. So we'll have a $35 seat there. Everybody's asked, will there be beer at the stadium at UCF? Yes, there will be. It will be a family atmosphere, though. So we want to know, look, if you want to watch football and you want to support Orlando and you want to have your team, head on out and see us.
Well, Tom, I know a lot of people out there excited. They're counting down the days now till football returns here. Best of luck. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
It is going to be exciting for sure. Still ahead, some big news from Orlando International. Plus, we're going to sit down with the man in charge of the UCF downtown campus, the huge project taking shape right in the heart of Orlando. Stay with us here on Orlando Matters.
Watch Wendy for serious news.
Please.
Career advice?
That's not my show.
Politics?
No!
Then why do we watch Wendy?
For Hot Topic. They were all over each other. Oh, Tiger Woods. Kathy, there is no defending you.
Wendy Williams, weekdays at 10 on Fox 35. Watch for the Hot Topics.
Exactly.
Our shared dream is to be a place that celebrates rich history, where learning, laughter, and entertainment come together. A destination where memories and new friends are made. A destination where local flavor and eclectic cuisine meet. And where culture and community connect. Ideas are created and reimagined. We are rising, bigger and bolder. We invite you to discover your urban in downtown Orlando.
I need a zero. I'm holding out for a zero for my next ride.
Super Zero event. Drive a brand new Chevy Equinox, $199 a month, zero do-it signing. Just sign and drive.
There's zero time to waste.
Only at AutoNation Chevrolet.
Freeze hunger in its tracks. You eat right and exercise, but you still have the urge to run to the fridge for food.
How a new procedure freezes hunger for up to a year to help you lose weight.
Monday on Good Day Orlando.
Welcome back to Orlando Matters. Camping World Stadium, such a versatile place. We know they play football there. They also play some rock there. In fact, last weekend, the Eagles and Jimmy Buffett playing at the stadium, 46,000 at the show. It was the highest grossing concert in the stadium's 82-year history. Also the second highest concert attendance. Number one, the Rolling Stones back at 47,000 in 2015. Well, it was nearly 1 year ago the construction crews broke ground on UCF's new downtown campus. You can see now the building's starting to take shape if you go downtown. That campus opens in the fall of 2019. It will drastically change the downtown scene. And we want to talk a lot more about the downtown campus. Thad Seymour, the vice provost with UCF Downtown, is here. Thad, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for being here.
So this is exciting. This has been a long time coming. It's been almost a year now since ground was broken, and now people can go to the downtown campus and actually see remnants of these buildings coming up.
Yeah, it's an exciting time because you're actually seeing the physical plant start to rise out of the ground. You've made a lot of progress.
We hear that this is going to change downtown. Where you're talking about 7,700 students, that alone, plus with all the faculty and all the business that comes in, this will be a dramatic change on the face of downtown.
Yeah, it really will. Certainly, we're going to build great academic programs. We're moving those downtown, but the activity that this generates, the energy that this brings to a downtown area is I don't think anybody really understands how powerful that's going to be. What
are some things that you're most excited about? Obviously, you're in this on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, well, there are three things we're focused on. One is we're going to make these programs, these great programs, even better as they come downtown, that take advantage of downtown. Second, we're very excited about becoming part of the Paramore community and working with the community to help strengthen those neighborhoods. And then the third, we expect over time, this will be an anchor for a broader innovation district downtown that will drive new startups and entrepreneurial activity, all of which will drive economic impact and growth for downtown.
Which ties so much into the Creative Village project. I mean, this is really the anchor for this. And it will, in a lot of ways, determine how successful it will be.
That's right. Yeah, the intersection of the creative arts and technology in young people in a dense urban place, there's nothing better than that.
It is so competitive, even as big as UCF is, to attract students. I mean, how does this, it's just another part of the arsenal now to attract future students.
Yeah, that's right. There are a lot of students around the country who are really attracted, want to attend college in an urban setting. And there really isn't another place among public universities in the state of Florida where you can do that. This will offer that.
And I don't think some people realize, yes, there'll be 7,700 students, but several hundred of those students will actually live downtown in one of the buildings.
Right. We open in August of 2019 with a student housing project that will have 600 beds in it. And there's going to be more and more market rate options nearby as well.
It's funny, we were talking before we started taping, you've actually got a countdown clock going that shows how long until everything's completed.
Countdown, I have it on an app.
Yeah,
and
we're under 500 days now,
right? That's right. We hit that last Friday.
Yeah. How important, give me some dates, like looking forward, what should people watch that will be popping up, things they can watch for?
Yeah, you'll see steady construction for the next number of months as the main structures get built. Then it will seem like it slows down because we'll work on the interiors for months and months. But we'll take delivery of these buildings in early summer of 2019, have the summer to get them broken in and prepare for the first day of classes on August 26th at 7:30 a.m. 2019.
Not that you're counting when that's coming up or everything else. Talk about just the process, how long this planning took, and now that you're getting to the point where you can count it down to that day, how exciting is that?
Well, it all began in early 2014 with a visit by Dr. Hitt and others to Phoenix and seeing the Arizona State campus. We publicly announced in the fall of 2014 that we intended to build a campus. Got full approval in the spring of 2016 from the state legislature and the Board of Governors, and we've been off and running ever since.
We had Dale Whitaker on the program a few weeks ago, of course, the president-elect at UCF, and when he takes over this summer, he's really excited about this. And I know he was a reason you came over and got involved in this as well. Talk about part of that vision that grabbed you.
Well, this really, UCF has visionaries at the very top and throughout this organization. And this started with Dr. Hitt. He quickly, when Dale came, handed off the reins to him to really make this come to life, and we've built a team to do it. But he understands how important this will be to transform lives and livelihoods in the urban core of downtown and even beyond. And that's really a huge part of what UCF is about.
If someone wants to look at some of this online, is there a good place, website or something they can go to see some of this?
Yeah, we have a website. You can just Google UCF Downtown and you'll find it in a couple of clicks, and we'll be keeping it active in terms of the programs that are coming, visuals of what's happening, and that will come to life even more in the months and the year ahead.
Well, it is an exciting time for downtown, of course, UCF as well. Appreciate you coming in and walking us through that, and we'll have you in a lot before we get to that countdown that goes off on your phone as well.
Thanks for having me, Ryan.
Great to have you. By the way, as we head to break, check this out. UCF Police unveiling the National Champions Cruiser. It's a new ride to honor the UCF football team and, of course, their undefeated season. Well, if you are scared of heights, you're going to need a little courage to ride Orlando's newest attraction. We're going to take you behind the scenes of the 450-foot Star Flyer next on Orlando Matters. Would you try?
Looking for the perfect way to spend a day with family in downtown Orlando? Take a ride on a Swan paddle boat at Lake Eola Park. Learn about Orlando's historic roots at the Orange County Regional History Center or the Wells-built Museum of African American History and Culture. Purchase quality fresh food grown by local farmers at the Paramore Farmers Market every Saturday. Or enjoy one of the many events throughout the year. To plan your family fun day, visit downtownorlando.com.
With amazing foods and over 100 different beers and wines, this Food and Wine Festival has serious bite. And it's only at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. Dive into adventure. Enjoy inspired tastes from across the globe, concerts from every genre, and a tequila chaser, too. See Bret Michaels, Kool and the Gang, the Commodores, the All-American Rejects, Cole Swindell, and more, now through April 29th. Get a Busch Gardens annual pass now for just $14 per month.
Discovering a world of unforgettable fun, a great reason to get away. Doing it any day of the week, an even better one. Now, Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line makes it even easier to get away on a fun 2-night cruise with daily departures from the port of Palm Beach to Grand Bahama Island. Own the night on the dance floor or at the casino. Dine to your heart's content. Embrace adventure or relaxation and do it all for as low as $129. Call 1-800-995-3162 to plan your getaway today. Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line, a better way to get away.
What a great way to wake up and look at the morning. That is Daytona Beach Shores, looking out of Volusia County, one of the many beaches that attract visitors throughout the year. By the way, Memorial Day unofficially marks the start of the summer tourist season. An airline survey ranked Orlando as the most booked trip for Memorial Day weekend, followed by Las Vegas and New York City. Well, that in mind, it is not a coincidence that Orlando International is the busiest airport in Florida, and there are two big developments that took place this week at MCO. First, the airport plans to tap into cutting-edge technology to reduce wait times for overseas travelers. The Greater Orlando Aviation Authority has now approved $4 million to upgrade the airport's processing system with facial recognition technology. This will eliminate the need for boarding passes and also passports at the time of boarding. Meanwhile, after weeks of debate, TSA agents will be staying at the airport. Officials sat down with security experts for a vote. Earlier this year, the airport was strongly considering privatizing security, but in the end, several improvements and overhauls actually changed that plan. Well, the city of Orlando has joined now 11 other Florida cities in suing Governor Rick Scott over a state law that restricts them from enacting gun regulations. Orlando is the largest city in that group. Miami Beach and Tallahassee also on that list. City officials argue that 2011 law violates the Constitution. The city feels the state's ability to fine cities and remove officials is against the law. Meanwhile, Orange County Mayor Teresa Jacobs also asking the county to draft an ordinance as well that would reinstate the county's 3-day waiting period of firearm purchases. Some feel that a 98 amendment that happened years ago would actually, to the Constitution, preempts that 2011 law. Certainly the courts will decide it now. Well, as we know, we live in a city of attractions, but the newest one is the biggest one yet. We're talking 450 feet tall. It is called the Star Flyer, and Brian Scott has the details.
These are at every carnival, right? You've been there, rode that. Yeah, think again. That's about to look like the kiddie version.
Pretty incredible, isn't it? It must be one of the highest rides around here, mustn't it?
Yeah, you could say that.
Blows away anything that's ever been built before. This is the new Orlando Star Flyer. This is the tallest swing ride in the world.
Rising now for 2 years next to the Orlando Eye. And despite a last-minute delay to perfect the park around it, developer Richie Armstrong's got it moving for tests and says riders will board June 1st.
This week, probably, you'll actually start to see it moving at the speeds that it's going to get up to.
It's like any swing ride. You dangle by a chain in that tiny chair, but usually you dangle like 50, 100 feet up.
Yeah, and you see that going up right now? That will go all the way to the top, 400 feet or so, and you will be swinging the whole way.
450 feet to be exact, 50 feet taller than the next closest we could find. So you ready to line up?
Please, why not? You only live once.
Armstrong says, fear not, they're running it through the ringers. It will be safe. But he plans to make you scream.
We know that it's going to blow everyone away.
Another world record thrill to keep him coming back. In Orlando, Brian Scott, Fox 35 News.
I got to tell you, I agree with our female friend there. You only live once. I'll try it once, but I wouldn't want to be the first one on there. All right, one more segment left. We're going to tell you how you can help save a life and have some fun at the same time. Plus another successful rocket launch this week, this one with some very expensive cargo. Stay with us as we wrap up Orlando Matters, the ever-changing tourist district on iDrive.
Looking for the perfect way to spend a day with family in downtown Orlando? Take a ride on a Swan paddle boat at Lake Eola Park. Learn about Orlando's historic roots at the Orange County Regional History Center or the Wells-built Museum of African American History and Culture. Purchase quality fresh food grown by local farmers at the Paramore Farmers Market every Saturday. Or enjoy one of the many events throughout the year. To plan your family fun day, visit downtownorlando.com.
My doctor looked me right in the eye and said that smoking was the cause of my lung cancer. I've exhausted radiation. I can't ever have it again. I've exhausted certain chemotherapy drugs. I can't ever have again. So the worry is that if it were to come back, what are we going to do? A lot of it is out of my hands, and so that's the scary part.
Quit your way. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Car crashes don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why we're open right now, 24/7. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Stay local with us at 7 a.m.
Get the news that's trending right here, not in New York. Get your AccuWeather forecast and traffic alerts too. Watch Good Day Orlando at 7 a.m. on the news station.
Welcome back here on Orlando Matters. Thanks for spending part of your weekend morning with us. That is looking at iDrive, of course, the Universal Orlando area. And right in the heart of that, kind of the changing landscape there is Volcano Bay. They're finally getting some warmer weather. They've had a cold winter for sure. Well, the hunt for new planets, it actually started on the Space Coast Wednesday night. A lot of people set their calendars to when these launches are. They had a picture-perfect launch from SpaceX this week.
3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
Boy, people that live here say it never gets old. You could watch it every time. That is the rocket carrying NASA's TESS spacecraft. That cost over $300 million. Up in the sky, it's going to search when it gets up for new planets in our solar systems and whether those planets may have any life on them or not. And again, that launched from the Space Coast this week. Well, we finish with an update today on a cause that is close to us here at Fox 35. A Central Florida family and an Orlando drug company continue to lead the way in a difficult fight to find a cure for a rare brain-eating amoeba. It claimed the life of young 11-year-old Jordan Smelsky of Sanford nearly 4 years ago. You've been watching video here of a South Florida teen. He is the only recent survivor. His family saying he is alive because an Orlando drug and a drug company's work and also the work of the Smelsky family. By the way, the Jordan Smelsky Foundation will host their annual charity event to raise funds for research and awareness. I will help host that golf event. It's coming up May 5th at Rose and Shingle Creek. If you want to be involved, just go to jordansmile.org if you'd like to join us. But amazing what they've done. And of course, that drug company, Profounda, such a big part of that as well. That is all the time we have here on Orlando Matters. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Have a great weekend. We hope to see you back here next week. Until then, take care. I'm Ryan Elijah. We leave you with a live look downtown Orlando and Lake Eola.
Orlando Matters is brought to you in part by the City of Orlando Downtown Development Board.
There's more than 41,000 zip codes in America. In all but one zip code, they want term limits on Congress.